Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar on IPM performance for the month of April. This month has again been a very nice month in terms of growth for the Indian pharma market. Before we go to the section where we look at the performance of the Indian pharma market for the month of April, we have some interesting analysis that you would definitely like to look into. So today what we are doing is we are looking at the overall OAD market from a little different perspective. We have tried to focus on the insulins market because of late we have been reading a lot about interest shown by Indian companies in the insulins market. So we thought about let us look at what's happening in that area. Okay, yeah. So what we have done is we have looked at the insulins market. Also, since empagliflozin went off patent last month and Mounjaro was also launched, everybody is also excited at looking at what is the market, what has the market progressed so far. So let us look at the progress of that market as well. And then we go to our normal section where we look at the IPM therapy performance, the growth drivers, the top players in terms of corporates or brands for the month of April. So first we look at the insulins market. Even before looking at the insulins market in terms of numbers, what we have done is we have looked at why is there the rising importance of the insulins market. So insulins as a therapy is primarily integrated in type 1 diabetes, which is mostly a genetic condition or patients where oral antidiabetic drugs are no longer effective, essentially in cases where the pancreas is not able to produce insulin. Now, the annual incidence of type 1 diabetes in India is estimated to about 4.9 cases per 1 lakh population, particularly among children below 20 years of age. And this translates to approximately more than 8.5 lakh individuals living with type 1 diabetes in the country. What is more astonishing is the growth rate of type 1 diabetes is close to 6.7% annually in India compared to 4.4% for type 2 diabetes. So essentially, when it comes to type 1 diabetes, the medication or insulin start at a very, very young and early age as soon as the detection of the disease is concerned. In some cases where the patient is not responding to oral antidiabetics, basically oral antidiabetics, diabetic products, they help in they push the pancreas to produce more insulin. So where the pancreas fails completely, it is there where the type 2 patient upgrades to the type 1 diabetes patients. Now let us look at the market in terms of numbers. How does the market look? So when we look at what we have done is we have looked at the 5 MAT trend of the market, the 5-year value CAGR, and the growth of the market at the MAT April numbers. And we have compared it with the oral antidiabetic market as well. Now, as far as the insulins market is concerned, the market is a relatively small market as compared to the OAD market. So if you look at the year-on-year trend for this market, you see the market over here, OAD market has moved from 15,000 crore to 20,000 crore. Whereas the OAD market has moved from close to 12,000 crore to 16,000 crores. Whereas the insulins market has moved from close to 4,000 crore to 4,400 crore. That is not the place where it becomes interesting. What we also need to look at the contribution of the oral antidiabetics and the insulins market. Today, it is 80% of the anti-diabetes market is the oral anti-diabetes market and 20% is the insulins market. But what is interesting to be seen is the incremental that the insulins market has shown in the last 1 year. So if you see in the last, in 22-23, the incremental sale shown by the insulins market was relatively smaller. But it is over the last year that the insulins market has shown an incremental of close to 300 crores. Now, if I were to look at the players in the insulin market, initially it was MNCs like Novo or Sanofi or Eli Lilly who dominated the insulins market. They were more of players who worked in the insulins market rather than the oral antidiabetic market. But today, if you see, there are several players, almost 15 players which operate in this market. In terms of absolute value, they may be small players. But then what is interesting to see is many Indian players are now jumping in the bandwagon. In terms of absolute value over here, Eli Lilly may look as a much smaller player, but then Cipla has marketing rights for a major chunk of Eli Lilly portfolio, and major chunk of it gets reflected in Cipla. So if I were to look in terms of contribution, how does the market look? Abbott or Novo Nordisk, which is a part of Abbott as far as the data reflection is concerned, it occupies a strong 60% value market share. Sanofi market share has moved from 20 to 15%. Lupin has stayed strong at around 10 to 11% market share. If you see the players which are now becoming gradually stronger in this segment, you see Eris, which is becoming stronger in the insulin segment. Now, their partnership with MJ Biopharma or Biocon has enabled to strengthen the position in the insulins market. As far as the brands that are concerned, unlike the OAD market, where there are thousands of brands operating in the market, you will see close to 90 plus brands. To be precise, around 94 brands operate in this segment. But then only 14 brands contribute to close to 80% of the insulin segment. Abbott or Novo Nordisk, which is getting reflected in Abbott, has built several mega brands in this segment. If you see the turnover, 766 crore, 593 crore, 300 plus crore, 200 plus crore. So they have built several mega brands in this segment today. Partnerships by Indian companies with either MNCs or with Indian players who are strong in biologic segment has enabled the Indian companies to strengthen their position in this market. So if I were to look at some of the new launches which have happened in this segment in the last 2 years, we see good number of new launches, especially the ones from Sanofi, Cipla, and USV, who have garnered a significant turnover in the last 2 years. To summarize, Indian players are making a steady entry in the insulins market that was once dominated by the MNCs. Increased focus of innovator MNCs like Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk on the anti-obesity segment opens doors for the dose of opportunity for the Indian players in the insulin segment. Partnerships with MNCs as well as Indian biologics companies gives an upper hand to the Indian players in this segment. Next, we move to the update on how the empagliflozin of patent impact and Mounjaro launch is shaping up the Indian pharma market. So this is a simple graph that we had discussed last month. For the month of March, the value trend had come down, but then we are seeing some recovery in terms of value in the month of April. What is interesting to see is the units or quantity trend. The quantity which had moved up steeply in the month of March continues to grow equally steeply even in the month of April, indicating not just many entrants jumping into the market, but many entrants getting consumed well in the market today. So let us look at how the market looks in terms of value today. At a MAT level, the market is around 745 crores. And if you look at the category or the subgroups in this section, which are contributing to significant chunk, it is the empagliflozin and EMPA plus LINA combination, which contribute to around 80% of this market in terms of value, as well as quantity. Now, last month, if you remember last time's presentation, we had looked at the number of brands operating in this segment. So this is what we had presented. So total, there were close to 86 brands and 19 companies which we were capturing. Of course, there may be many more brands and many more companies which we still are not able to capture because they may be local players. But this is what the number looked like in the last month. Let us look at how does the number look in this month. In terms of brands, collectively, there are, the number of brands in empagliflozin plain, Lina, they have almost, Empa plus Lina combinations, they have almost doubled in the month of April. And also, if you see the number of players, they have jumped significantly over last month. It is possible that many of them would have stocked the goods and now the liquidation would have started, or the brands may have moved into the pen of the doctor. So if one removes the overlap, there are close to 147 brands from 37 companies that have started featuring in the EMPA plain plus combinations market today. This number was 86 brands and 19 companies in the month of March 25. As I said, there may be some more companies and brands which we may reflect in the coming months. Right now, they may not be getting reflected. Also, the next part, we look at the consumption of Mounjaro. Consumption of Mounjaro has tripled over the last month. If you look at the Mounjaro injection, the value was close to 1.42, which has moved to 4.8. Even in terms of quantity, if I look at the multiplier, it has actually tripled over the last month. Now, since this injection is once in a month, once in a week injection to be taken, this is indicating that this tripling may be an indicator of adherence to the dosage schedule by the patients. And a few more months of tracking of this product will give you a clear idea about the increasing acceptance of the product amongst the eligible Indian population base. So to summarize, the number of players and brands attracted to the empagliflozin off-patent opportunity has almost doubled in a month. Quantity consumption of empagliflozin plains as well as combinations has shown a steep growth over last month. Mounjaro is gradually picking up in the Indian pharma market, and market tracking in the coming months will give a better clarity on its acceptance. Coming to the IPM therapy performance, if you see for the month of April, the IPM has shown a very good growth of close to 7.8% in terms of value and unit growth of close to 1.3%. Almost all the therapies have shown an encouraging growth. Of course, the top therapies with a higher base showing that strong growth is a challenge, but on that, if you see the cardiac segment has shown a double-digit value growth and a unit growth which is much higher than the IPM unit growth. Coming to the growth drivers, for the month of April, it is the price and new introductions which have driven the growth of the market. Volume growth is a little on a lesser side, almost insignificant. Coming to the top therapies, in majority of the therapies, the volumes stay on a slightly negative side for the month of April. You'll see over here, majority of the top therapies, the volume growth is on a negative side, whereas for smaller therapies, the volume growth is on a higher side. Coming to the top 40 corporates, if you look, top 40 corporates, they contribute to more than 80% of the Indian pharma market. Amongst the top 20, Sun Pharma, Cipla, Alchem, Intas, Torrent, and Ipca have shown a double-digit value growth. And the next players between 21 to 40, it is JB Chemicals, Laranon, PNG Health, Corona, and Bayer. They have shown a double-digit growth in terms of value. Coming to the top 40 brands, Augmentin and Glycomed GP, they maintain their number 1 and 2 position for the month, for the MAT period, whereas for the month, Liu 52 from Himalaya moves to the number 2 position. Furacort, Pandi, Rhizodec, Thyronorm, and Telma have shown a double-digit value as well as unit growth. Amongst the next 20 players, Electral and Calpol have shown an excellent double-digit unit growth, whereas Ribelsis and T-Bact have shown a double-digit value as well as unit growth for the month of April. To summarize for the Indian pharma market, the IPM has shown a value growth of 7.8% with all the therapies showing a positive value growth. New introductions and price growth have majorly driven the market growth for the month of April. Majority of the top players have shown encouraging value growth with a good number of the top players with a double-digit value growth. Augmentin and Glycomed GP continue to retain their leadership position at a MAT level. Liu 52 from Himalaya is at a number 2 position for the month of April. That's all from our side in terms of the IPM performance for the month of April. Thank you for joining us today and have a great week ahead. Thank you so much.